BurbankandBeyond.com.
I'm Robert Vincent for BurbankandBeyond.com, and today we're in McCambridge Park for the tree planting ceremony here in Burbank. And as you can see, this tree is much older than 56 years, which is how long we've been doing this. You're going to meet some city officials, the vice mayor, and a lot of nice people in Burbank that are part of these community events.
Hello, I'm Eileen Kobos for the Plant a Tree chairperson, and I'd like to welcome all of you here today to celebrate our Plant a Tree. This year is our 56th anniversary of the Plant a Tree project in Burbank. And the project was begun by the Women's Council, and for 40 years they collected donations to give the city trees for planting. In 1996, the Women's Council handed off the project to our Civic Pride Committee, and we're proud to carry on this wonderful tradition. Plant a Tree is just one of the many great projects that we work on throughout the year. And now please join Robert Vincent for the salute to the flag.
Please rise and put your hands over your hearts and praise the flag of this great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
On behalf of the Civic Pride Committee, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you, Vice Mayor Talamontes. Thank you, Jess, for being here, and all the support the City Council gives for the Civic Pride activities. I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work and assistance from the staff of the Park and Recreation Community Services Department, Jem Bartolo, Glenn Williams, and all of their staff. Thank you. The great work they do for us, they were initially the catalyst to make these events go off. And most of all, a big thank you to all of you that made a donation. Each year we plant trees in the park area that is most in need. This year we're at McCambridge Park. Your donation makes the planting possible. Donations are still coming in, and feel free to donate more. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'd like to call Ms. Shelley Davies, please, to read the certificates.
As I call your name, please come up and get your certificate.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come today. Your generous donations and contributions mean a lot to the city. We understand that the economic times are taking a toll just about on everybody, and to be able to give of your hard-earned dollars generously to something that is so valuable not only to the environment but to our community and our park system is truly appreciated. And so your dollars are going to, one, the tree that is being planted today ceremoniously, which will be a 24-inch box Chinese pistache. But in addition to that, several other trees will be planted in this park and throughout our park system throughout the year as needed. For instance, this past Sunday, when Burbank and a lot of the other regions in Southern California went through a very severe rainstorm and windstorm, In the city of Burbank alone, we probably lost between 15 and 18 trees that went down. Some beautiful, some very close by, like a beautiful large stone pine just a couple blocks away on Bethany. And sometimes we lose these trees because of their age and their maturation, but sometimes the heavy rains and the winds just make them so that they become so saturated they just can't stand any longer, and we lose some beautiful trees. And that happens occasionally in our parks as well. And it's your kindness and charitable contributions, such as you have all donated today in memory or in honor of people significant in your life, that helps the Park Rec and Community Services Department be able to fund its urban forestry program and buy replacement trees and put them in the parks. So I can't tell you the significance and the importance of your generosity, and we certainly hope and appreciate that it will continue in years to come. So again, on behalf of the department and the city of Burbank, we'd like to thank you very much for, again, coming today, for your contributions, and we will continue working very hard to make Burbank that much better and a beautiful place to live in our community. Thank you.
We have the privilege of having Vice Mayor Jess Talamantes. Will you say a few words, Jess?
It's glad to see, I'm really happy to see such a good crowd tonight, considering the circumstances. But you know, I've attended several of these. Before I got elected to the City Council, I was on the Parks, Recreation, Community Services Board for 9 years. So over the years, I've had the opportunity to attend these functions, and you know, it just gets better. And I just want to thank the Civic Pride Committee for putting this together, and as well as for everything that you do throughout the course of the year. Thank you very much on behalf of myself and the City Council. We really appreciate all the time and effort your committee puts into doing what you do. And I also would like to thank the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Department for working as a partnership with you to facilitate this kind of activity, this kind of ceremony, which is, this is great. This is what Burbank's all about. Earlier this month, our mayor, Mayor Ranke, read a proclamation to Plant a Tree Month, and let me just read it again. It states that whereas the anniversary of birth of Luther Burbank, the great California botanist, is March 4th, and whereas the city of Burbank wishes to encourage the planting and proper care of street, park, and home ornamental trees, and whereas Burbank's environmental conservation efforts ensure an enduring heritage of vital natural resources for succeeding generations, now therefore I, Anya Ranke, Mayor of the City of Burbank, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2011 as Arbor Day and the month of March as Plant a Tree Month, and urge all Burbank residents to join me in observing this month by planting one or more trees and by participating in one or more programs sponsored during Plant a Tree Month. Signed this first day of March 2011, Anya Ranke, Mayor of City of Burbank. So like I said before, this is a great ceremony. I love attending these type of functions throughout the city over the course of the years. This is what Burbank's all about. You know, the community gets together, city officials come together, and this is what makes Burbank what it is. And I'm really proud to be a Burbank resident. I'm proud to be one of your representatives on the City Council. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work and assistance from the staff of the Park and Recreation Community Services Department. Jen Bartolo, Glenn Williams, and all of their staff, thank you. The great work they do for us, they were initially the catalyst to make these events go off. And most of all, a big thank you to all of you that made a donation. Each year we plant trees in the park area that is most in need. This year we're at McCambridge Park. Your donation makes the planting possible. Donations are still coming in, and feel free to donate more. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm here with Deputy Director Jan Bartolo for the City of Burbank. Jan, how important is Plant a Tree ceremony today?
Plant a Tree program is extremely important. It's because of the kind and generous contributions and funds that we receive from all of our Burbank citizens that we're able to replant our urban forest on a continual basis.
How many trees per se, like with the programs that they have, do people plant per year?
Well, we have about 33,000 trees in our urban forest, both in the public parkways and our civic areas as well as our parks. So throughout the years, as we lose trees, whether it's through their life expectancy has reached its maturation or whether they go down in storms and inclement weather, this is a tremendous asset to help us replace the trees as is needed.
You know, it's amazing because even in these tough economic times, we still had quite the turnout and a lot of donations.
Absolutely, and that's the spirit of the Burbank community. People give regardless, and it's their generosity that helps make Burbank a beautiful and wonderful place to live.
Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
Jess, how important is today for the community?
You know, it's a great ceremony. The community comes together, and there's people are remembering some of their relatives, some of their close friends, some acquaintances over the years that have passed on, and this is one good way to remember them, you know, and it brings us all together. And with Gino Gaudio here doing the singing, I think it's a real community event.
I heard you sing a little bit too there. I like that.
Well, thank you. I'm not a singer, but I like to enjoy it, especially some of the songs that I know of.
And what's happening between all the natural forces going on in Japan and everything else, and everybody's being affected right now. So for a community like this, it is very touching.
Well, you know, we were affected as well. Last weekend when we had those 70-mile-an-hour winds, we had several trees. I went up to Bethany and 3rd with a 75-year-old tree is down. You know, it's just one of those things that it's really touching to see something that has lasted this long to come down. I mean, it's just, but then, you know, we had the airport that was closed down. It's unfortunate the things that have happened over in Japan. You know, not only one thing, but they had one thing after another after another. But we seem to survive, and we just look forward to tomorrow. You know, it's just about looking forward, bringing the community together, and working together we can really succeed.
Well, I'm looking forward to in just a couple of months when you become mayor.
Well, it'll be exciting. You know, it's going to be an exciting time. We'll have to, like you said, reorganization is on May 2nd, the first Monday in May, and that's when the city council gets together and we amongst ourselves get to pick a new mayor and a new vice mayor. But it'll be exciting. I'm fortunate enough to be selected by my fellow council members as the next mayor, and it'll be an exciting year, especially this year that it's our centennial year.
They're just finishing up planting the tree, one of many throughout Burbank this year. This is our 56th annual tree planting ceremony. And as you can see, it was a big crowd. We talked to the vice mayor, deputy director, a lot of nice people. I'm Robert Vincent for BurbankandBeyond.com.